You foods are going to keep your smells to yourselves.
Party Pooper!
If you can't remember the last time you changed the baking soda, it's probably time to change it again.
Any last words?
What took you so long?
Once a rising Hollywood star, Armie Hammer's public image crumbled under the weight of shocking allegations and controversy. From box office heartthrob to Cayman Islands timeshare salesman, Hammer's fall from grace has been nothing short of spectacular. And now, after times of silence, the actor is speaking out. Hammer's fall from grace.
On April 24th, 2017, Armie Hammer violently touched me for over 4 hours in Los Angeles, during which he repeatedly slapped my head against a wall, bruising my face. He also committed other acts of violence against me, to which I did not consent.
Armie Hammer's journey from Hollywood heartthrob to industry outcast is a tale that has captivated the public's attention. Once known for roles in films like The Social Network and Call Me By Your Name, Hammer's career took a dramatic turn in early 2021 when allegations of sexual misconduct and abuse surfaced against him. The accusations, which ranged from emotional abuse to sexual assault, sent shockwaves through Hollywood and beyond. Screenshots of alleged conversations between Hammer and various women began circulating on social media, revealing disturbing fantasies and behavior. The actor, who had been riding high on a wave of success, suddenly found himself at the center of a storm that reshaped his life. As the allegations mounted, his professional life began to crumble. He was dropped from several high-profile projects, including a romantic comedy with Jennifer Lopez and a series about the making of The Godfather. The industry that once embraced him seemed to be turning its back, leaving Hammer to face the consequences of his alleged actions. The investigation and its aftermath.
Where I was in my life before all of that stuff happened to me, I didn't feel good. I never felt satisfied.
For 2.5 years, Hammer was the subject of an intense investigation by the LAPD. During this time, his career was effectively put on hold as he retreated from the public eye. The investigation was thorough and extensive, with authorities looking into every aspect of the allegations against him. In a recent appearance on Bill Maher's Club Random podcast, Hammer spoke about this period, saying, quote, "They investigated me for 2.5 years in a time where they could have nailed someone like me. It would have been such a boon for the LAPD." The actor's statements suggest that he believes the authorities were highly motivated to find evidence against him, given the high-profile nature of the case. But in 2023, the LA County District Attorney's Office announced no criminal charges would be filed against Hammer. According to Hammer, quote, "They came to the conclusion that there is no evidence that any crime had been committed." This decision marked a significant turning point in the saga, though it did little to immediately repair the damage done to Hammer's reputation and career. Life in the Cayman Islands.
Well, it appears that he is trying to sell timeshares in the Caymans. Now, TMZ has these pics. We know that Armie's been laying low down there during the pandemic and after facing multiple public scandals. Now, despite these pics, Armie's rep told TMZ he didn't know whether Armie was actually trying to sell timeshares or not.
In the wake of the allegations and subsequent investigation, Hammer retreated to the Cayman Islands, where he had spent part of his childhood. The move was seen by many as an attempt to escape the intense scrutiny he was facing in the U.S. But life in the Caymans proved to be far from the peaceful refuge Hammer might have hoped for. During his time there, he underwent a psychological evaluation, which he claims produced, quote, glowing results. On the podcast, he stated, quote, "I did a psych eval. I did a lie detector test. I did all of these things because I wanted to know." This suggests Hammer was actively seeking to understand and address any potential issues he might have. The results of his evaluation, according to Hammer, were surprising to some. He recounted, quote, "The woman who did my psych eval in the Cayman Islands, she goes, 'You definitely have some issues that you need to deal with, but you're not the person people are saying you are.'" Attempts at rebuilding.
It's almost like a neutron bomb went off in my life, right? It killed all the people. It killed me. It killed my ego. It killed all the people around me that I thought were my friends that weren't.
Despite the lack of criminal charges and the reportedly positive psychological evaluation, Hammer found that rebuilding his life and career was no easy task. He revealed on the podcast he had attempted to find work in various fields in the Cayman Islands, but faced significant obstacles. Quote, I applied for a job to be a drama teacher. I applied for a job to be a landscaper. I applied for a job to be a building manager, Hammer said. However, he claimed that the Cayman Islands refuses to give me work permits. This struggle to find employment in fields outside of acting highlights the far-reaching consequences of the allegations against him. In a surprising turn of events, he eventually found work selling timeshares in the Cayman Islands. This drastic career shift from Hollywood actor to timeshare salesman became a subject of media fascination. Hammer, however, claims to have embraced the new role, stating, quote, I would rather go get a job selling timeshares. I'd rather go get a job. Financial fallout.
I have come to the place where I understand that there are no free lunches. And anything that you take always has strings, especially from people who love to give.
You're right.
Because then they know they've got strings.
Right.
So what I would rather do is I would rather go get a job selling timeshare. I would rather go get a job. I applied for a job to be a drama teacher. I applied for a job to be a landscaper. I applied for a job to be a building manager. And the Cayman Islands refuses to give me work permits.
One of the most striking revelations from Hammer's recent interviews is the state of his finances. Despite being part of a wealthy family, his great-grandfather was oil tycoon Armand Hammer, the actor claims to be broke following the scandal. On the podcast, Hammer addressed speculation about his financial situation. Quote, someone might look at me and go, yeah, but financially you're in a very different position than you've ever been in your entire life. And I look at that and I go, yeah, and you know what it's taught me is that I don't need that because I've never been happier than I have ever been in my entire life. Reflections on past behavior.
I wanted what I wanted, and I was going to take it at any cost, even if it was at an emotional cost of someone else.
Right.
And that is shitty behavior.
Throughout his recent interviews, Hammer has been candid about his past behavior and the lifestyle he was leading before the allegations came to light. He admitted to engaging in what he now describes as stupid behavior, including heavy drinking, drug use, and sending risky text messages. Quote, my life was going on a certain way and it's Newton laws, right? An object in motion is going to remain in motion unless acted upon by an outside force, he explained. He said, my life was in motion. I was making a lot of money. I was drinking a lot. I was doing a lot of drugs. I was partying hard. I was being real fast and loose about what I put in text messages. He went on to suggest that if his life had continued on that trajectory, it would have led to his death. Quote, my life would have kept going exactly as it was, he told Marr, and I know that would ultimately lead in one place, and that's death. The impact of cancellation.
It's incredibly liberating.
Yeah.
Because so much of my life leading up to there was two things. It was being preoccupied with how I was perceived, which now you don't have to care about. Once everyone just decides that they hate you, you go, oh, well then I don't need anything from you people anyway. I guess I should just learn to be content with myself.
The concept of being canceled has been a significant part of Hammer's narrative since the allegations first surfaced. On the podcast, he spoke about the impact of this public shunning, describing it in terms of multiple deaths, an ego death, a career death, and a financial death. However, Hammer also spoke about finding a sense of liberation in the experience. Quote, because so much of my life leading up to there, it was two things, he explained. It was being preoccupied with how I was perceived, which now you don't have to care about. Once everyone just decides that they hate you, you go, oh, well then I don't need anything from you people anyway. I guess I should just learn to be content with myself. Looking into the future. Despite the challenges he's faced, Hammer appears to be looking towards the future with a sense of purpose. He's revealed he's working on a screenplay with a friend, describing the process as, quote, incredibly cathartic. The creative endeavor seems to be part of Hammer's strategy for moving forward both personally and professionally. He expressed pride in the project, stating, we're really proud of it. While it's unclear what reception the product might receive, given Hammer's current standing in the industry, it represents a step towards reclaiming his narrative and potentially rebuilding his career in his own terms. The road ahead. As Armie Hammer continues to helm his way through the aftermath of the allegations and his subsequent cancellation, the road ahead remains uncertain. While he's been cleared of criminal charges, the court of public opinion may take longer to shift its perspective. His recent interviews and public statements suggest a man grappling with the consequences of his past actions while trying to chart a new course for his life. Whether this involves a return to acting, a new career in writing, or something entirely different remains to be seen. Now it's time to hear from you. What are your thoughts on Army's recent statements? Do you believe people can truly change after facing such serious allegations? Let us know in the comments section below.